United States. So you see, all of this mis, dis, and malinformation is really being supported and spread by probably Russia. So if you're an angry American spreading COVID disinformation online, you're most likely a Russian asset. And that makes you dangerous to our national security. Lastly, and what needs to be pointed out is it goes on to say DHS is working with public and private sector partners, as well as foreign counterparts, to identify and evaluate MDM, including false or misleading narratives and conspiracy theories spread on social media and other online platforms that endorse or could inspire violence.
Peace, blessings, and respect, family. I just want to stop in real quick and share a little bit of information with you. So, the Freedom Convoy in Canada, the truckers were labeled as terrorists. And by them calling them terrorists and implementing the Emergency Act, they've frozen all of their accounts. Now, I want to share something with you because America is setting us up for the same type of things. And if you think I'm playing or I'm just tripping, I'm going to show you right now. Just check this out.
Last Monday, the Department of Homeland Security released a bulletin titled Summary of Terrorism Threat to the U.S. Homeland. And what's in it is pretty shocking. It actually labels what is typically considered free speech as terrorism. So I want to go over this bulletin with you. So the bulletin starts off with, the United States remains in a heightened threat environment fueled by several factors, including an online environment filled with false or misleading narratives and conspiracy theories and other forms of mis, dis, and malinformation, MDM, introduced and or amplified by foreign and domestic threat actors. Okay, so first of all, remember, this is a bulletin about domestic terrorist threats to the homeland. And they're saying that we're in a heightened threat environment because of what they label MDM, mis, dis, and malinformation, which they're saying could be spread by American citizens. So that's you and me. And if we spread what they label MDM, we could be in hot terrorism water. And when you click on it, you get their definition of what each one is. Says misinformation is false but not created or shared with the intent of causing harm. Malinformation is based on fact but used out of context to mislead, harm, or manipulate. Disinformation is deliberately created to mislead, harm, or manipulate a person, social group, organization, or country. Now, the problem with MDM being labeled as potential terrorist threats is that the definitions of mis, dis, and malinformation keep changing. We've seen this throughout the pandemic, that many people who've been labeled as spreading misinformation or conspiracy theories have been, in fact, right all along. It was a conspiracy theory that there would be vaccine mandates. It was misinformation to say that the vaccine doesn't prevent spread. The Department of Homeland Security say people who spread MDM are possibly threat actors seeking to exacerbate societal friction to sow discord and undermine public trust in government institutions to encourage unrest, which could potentially inspire acts of violence. So they're saying if you sow discord and undermine public trust in a government institution like the CDC, FDA, the Pentagon, or Congress, that could lead to violence, which could happen to, let's say, during a protest. To prevent this, you could be labeled a terrorist threat if you're found to be engaging in speech that undermines a government institution that could lead to any of these acts. So if they think your words might lead to a protest against the government, and that protest might then lead to a violent breakout, which could happen at any protest, you could be labeled domestic terrorist simply for dissenting. By issuing this bulletin, they've effectively given themselves the freedom to halt any dissent they don't like under the guise of it could lead to violence. They're saying it's a domestic terrorist threat and we can't have that. I think many of us warned this was on the horizon when politicians and others in the media were calling for more to be done against misinformation. I think some of us were mocked for saying the definition of terrorism is changing and the end result will be our own government going after anyone and everyone they deem to be morally inferior. Yet here we are.
I'm not even the guy that does strategy. I don't do vehicles. I do general operations. I can buy the construction that they give it to me. I have to pass it on to you. How much volume you want to do? I get it. So
So that is the government, our Prime Minister, declaring his War Measures Act, the Desperate Measures Act, and freezing my account and many others.
Telling you the forward strategy and the back end strategy.
I'm curious, does that scare you or does that empower you?
I want to add one more thing. Get cryptos, get you some physical precious metals, get you some cryptos, but understand, the cryptos can be seized as well. All they have to do is charge you with some nonsense and they can freeze up your account. At which point, you'll need something physical. That's all I'm saying. Peace, blessings, and respect.
Would you rather have paper or gold?